What if I told you China's rise isn't as unique as most people think? Because if you rewind history about 150 years, another country followed a surprisingly similar path. Not China, the United States. In just 4 decades, China transformed from a largely poor country into the world's second-largest economy. It lifted more than 800 million people out of poverty, built the largest high-speed rail network on Earth, and became the factory of the world. Those achievements seem unprecedented, but history suggests otherwise. The United States experienced a similar transformation during the late 1800s. Railroads connected the country, steel production exploded, oil fueled new industries, millions of workers poured into factories, and America's economy grew faster than almost anyone expected. The details were different, but the pattern was remarkably similar. So what can China's rise teach us about the future? It starts with manufacturing. Every major economic power begins by making things. Britain did it during the Industrial Revolution. America did it during the Gilded Age. China began doing it after opening its economy in 1978. Today, China produces roughly 30% of the world's manufacturing output. That's more than the United States, Japan, Germany, and South Korea combined. Factories created jobs. Jobs created cities. Cities created a growing middle class. And that middle class became the engine of economic growth. But manufacturing is only the first stage. As wages increase, countries can no longer rely on cheap labor forever. They have to innovate. America made that transition by creating companies that changed the world. Ford revolutionized automobiles. IBM transformed computing. Microsoft brought software into homes and businesses. Apple reshaped consumer technology. Innovation replaced low-cost labor as America's biggest advantage. China is now trying to make the same transition. Companies like BYD have become global leaders in electric vehicles. China dominates solar panel production. It invests billions every year in artificial intelligence, robotics, batteries, and advanced manufacturing. The goal is no longer to produce the cheapest products. The goal is to create products that other countries cannot easily replace. And that's exactly what every rising superpower has tried to do. But success always creates competition. When America became the world's leading industrial economy, Britain saw it as a challenge. Trade disputes increased, economic rivalry intensified. The balance of global power slowly shifted. Fast forward to today. China faces tariffs, export controls, and technology restrictions from several advanced economies. Global companies are moving some factories to countries like Vietnam, India, and Mexico. Supply chains are becoming more diversified. Many people see these developments as signs that China's growth is ending. History tells a more complicated story. Every major economic power has faced resistance during its rise. Competition often becomes more intense precisely because a country is becoming more influential. But this is where China's story begins to differ from America's. Unlike the United States during its industrial expansion, China is facing a declining population. Birth rates have fallen. The working-age population is shrinking. A smaller workforce makes it harder to maintain rapid economic growth. Real estate, once one of China's biggest growth engines, has also slowed. These challenges didn't exist on the same scale during America's rise. That means China cannot simply repeat history. It has to adapt. Its future depends less on adding millions of new workers and more on improving productivity through automation, artificial intelligence, and technological innovation. In other words, the next stage of growth won't come from bigger factories, it will come from smarter ones. So why does China's rise look so familiar? Because history often follows patterns. Manufacturing, innovation, global competition, economic transformation. These stages have appeared before. America followed them. China has followed many of the same steps. But history never repeats exactly. Technology moves faster today. Global markets are more connected. Politics plays a much larger role. The ending is still being written. And that's why understanding history matters. The biggest opportunities rarely appear in the headlines. They appear in the patterns behind them. If you can recognize those patterns before everyone else, you'll understand not only where China has been, but where the global economy might be going next. If you enjoy videos that explain economics, history, and global finance through real-world examples, subscribe. Because the past doesn't predict the future, but it often gives us the best clues.